Welcome to A&K Computers New Year Scheduling Overview. Before starting the New Year processing, we would like you to do a backup of your current database. To do this, you're going to select the Utilities menu and you're going to select Backup. It's going to show you who's currently logged into the system. Keep in mind, before you back up, we would like everyone to exit the software. Simply click on Exit and you have your data backup screen that's going to appear. And click OK. Then once the backup is completed, this information is stored in the WinPCO directories. Your next step is you're going to go into Options and select Year-End Processing. This requires a clearance code. If you do not have a permanent clearance code, you need to contact A&K Computers, and we simply will assign you one, or we may assign you a clearance code for that day. You simply enter that code and click OK. It's going to ask you if you did a backup. You simply say yes, and you're going to change the new year to the year 2012 or 2013 or 2014. Each year the process is still the same, and you're going to simply click OK. And what it's doing right now is reading in your customer master service group screen their frequency and period to start. Once this process has been completed, located on the lower right hand side of your current operating system is what's called the calendar. For Windows 7 and Vista operating systems, you simply click on that and you click on Change Date and Time Settings, and you're going to change your calendar to January 2nd, 2012. You simply hit OK and OK. For XP operating system, you simply double click on the calendar located on the lower right hand side of your computer and you go to the same process. Once your computer has been changed to the year 2012, you're going to go into Invoices and Create Invoices. It's going to show the current year and month. You simply click OK, and it's generating your January invoices. As always, it's a good idea to take a look at what you have created. So an example here, we're going to go into on-screen scheduling and we're going to select scheduling by month so we can see the overview of the invoices that we've generated. It always shows the current month and year, so you're going to click OK, and you can see all the invoices generated for January. Once this process has been completed, you simply go back to the calendar located on your lower right hand side of your computer and you go back to December of 2011. And you select the current date that you're in. On occasions in the month of December, either in the middle part or beginning part, and the New Year's scheduling has been completed, you may pick up customers throughout that month. If that happens and you enter the customer into the system and their service is going to start here in December of 2011 and their regular service is going to begin in the year 2012, I'm going to use this customer as an example of how to set that up. So I'm going to go to Edit Add, and I'm just going to just grab one of the group screens here. And let's say this is a brand new customer and they had the service in December and they're starting their regular service for 2012. We're going to make this a monthly customer for now. And of course, any of the scheduling options 1 and 2. And of course, you have your route and technician. And I'll just change this to December 2011 because we're still in December. And I'm going to hit schedule. And keep in mind, this is a customer who just called in. They're brand new and they're having a service in December, but the regular service is going to start in the year 2012. So what happens here, you create the invoice for December because they're receiving service, and once that invoice has been generated, you simply go into Current, CURR, to look at the current invoice, double click on it to get the detailed version, and then you simply change the date to the scheduled date that the customer is going to receive service. Once this invoice has been generated and scheduled, now you want to set up the regular service for the year 2012 or 2013 or 2014, etc. You simply go back to the calendar on your lower right hand side and you change it to the year 2012. And I'm just going to pick January 2nd as an example. Now that my computer is now set for the year 2012, I'm simply going to set up the recurring service for this customer, and I'm going to use the service group screen that I was practicing on. So for a monthly customer, we're going to change the period to start to 01/2012 and hit schedule. And now the service is now set up for the year 2012. Because this is a monthly customer, we're going to need to generate a January invoice. So just go ahead and do that. And the process is still the same. You simply close the screen, go to current, and pick the January invoice and schedule the date that is going to have service when you make your phone calls, things of that nature. So an example here, we'll say it's on that day, and we simply save it. Now, keep in mind, you may have a customer who's received service in December and they're signing up for a bi-monthly service or a quarterly service. And to do that, we're going to use the same group screen as an example. So here, I'm going to change the frequency to a bi-monthly. And I'm going to change it to the year that the customer is going to start their regular service. Example here is going to be February. Keep in mind that they had their initial service in December. So I'm going to hit schedule, hit yes, and now the bi-monthly service is now set up for the year 2012. And the same process is for quarterly service. You simply change your frequency to quarterly and change your period to start to 03/2012 and hit schedule. And the next regular service is going to begin in March of 2012. Once this process has been set up, you need to not worry about it ever again, because when you create your invoices on a batch level, it will automatically generate an invoice for the scheduled months for this customer. Now, on occasions, you are in December still and you're getting close to the end of the month, and a customer comes up or calls you and says, I want my service in January. This is just a one-time thing. The same process, still the same. You simply change this to a one shot, and because you're still in the year 2012, or you have an option here, we're going to say no. Now as an example, I'm going to go back to December of 2011, my current date. And this customer's called up in December. They're having a real big problem, and it's towards the end of December, and they want to have the service after the holidays. And this is just going to be a one-time service. The process is still the same. You go ahead and create the invoice for December, and then you're going to go to the invoice that you generated and change it to the date in January. So I'll repeat that process. I'll pick the December one, and we simply change this to the date that the customer is scheduled in. This is only a one-time application, so you may run across different scenarios when you do the New Year scheduling. If you haven't done the New Year scheduling and you have customers calling in December, the process is your normal way, like you normally do it. Thank you, and this ends the WinPCO New Year scheduling.